Hi, I'm Tim. I'm the founder of Urban Mystic. I host the podcast of the Urban Mystic, and I'm a spiritual director who has produced several different courses. I'm going to be opening these up and making them known and offering people the opportunity to do them with me. So the Trinity Sessions is a short series that runs over a month. There's 4 sessions. This series differs in many ways to courses that you may have done previously. There's a big difference between a course that focuses on teaching, which is to convey information to you that you're supposed to understand. And often when it comes to the Trinity, that's the way people have experienced it. The Trinity is a concept that people have. It's an idea that we have that God exists as 3 persons who can be known. But in practice, how often do we get to work through those relationships? How often do we get to explore the story of those relationships and prioritize our engagement with each of these persons of the Godhead? So the first session is the only abstract session during this series. I introduce you to the key concepts of what it's like to tell your story and what it's like to be listened to for what your experience means to you. We also take a look at the practice of the presence of God and what it's like to practice a relational spirituality as opposed to a formative spirituality. But the goal of this as a series is to unpack and explore your experience of God. This is not something that people get to do often, and it's something that is really in focus. So each of the other sessions follow a similar format. You tell me the story of your relationship with God. So in the second week, you'll tell the story of your relationship with God the Father. In the third week, your relationship with Jesus. And in the final week, your relationship with the Spirit. And then we'll spend some time unpacking that. In most situations, though, there is no expectation that God is going to draw near in person to speak and act. This is a relational series that primarily focuses on that engagement with God. So in between each session, there's going to be a focus between you and me on cultivating a practice of the presence of God. And in each of those weeks, we're going to take a look at what your engagement with that person of the Godhead is like. What's it like for you to engage God the Father? What's it like for you to build and cultivate a relationship with God the Father? What can you expect the relationship to be like and unfold like? And then similarly, we'll unpack your relationship with Jesus and your relationship with the Spirit. So the key aspect of this is there's no difference between the person that's facilitating the series and the person that is doing the series. Both participants tell their story, and both participants practice the subtle art of listening to someone else for what their experience means for them. This approach to storytelling, this approach to sharing the story of a relationship, differs to a counseling environment and differs to a teaching environment. There's no listening in order to respond to how someone else is telling their story. There's listening with a purpose and the intent of hearing what your story means to you, and coming alongside you and asking questions and supporting you in your journey of unpacking your relationship with each of the persons of the Godhead, and of working out how you can take that further. The people that are going to benefit the most from this series are those that are looking to shift from a relationship with God that's rooted in faith, where they don't trust experience, to the kind of relationship that's rooted in a real engagement between 2 people, where the presence of God is really central to you, where you really want to hear God speak and experience God meeting with you one-on-one. Most of us are raised in a Christian environment where we are taught to believe in God on the basis of faith alone, to not trust experience, and to make faithfulness in going to church and service towards others the core of what we do. And for many people, the context of renewal is the place where, for the first time, this God that we've been taught to believe in by faith is someone that you actually get to meet. And there's this awakening, the sense that God is real, God is personal, God is active. I really understand there to be a remarkable shift in the context of renewal, that there's one way of doing church before renewal, where doing church is what's central, and then there's a remarkable difference in the context of renewal, where both the people that are doing church as professionals and people that are going to church use the space very differently, because it's a time and a space to engage God and to see what God is present and actively doing. And yet, at the end of renewal, we often just go back to doing church as usual. This leaves a tremendous gap in people's lives, and it makes the experience of doing church ridiculously unsatisfying. And so the people that are really going to benefit most are people that are awakening to their desire for a deep, personal, direct, connected relationship with God that is really rooted in their relational connection rather than mediated through the services or events that are on offer by other people. This year I'm going to be running this series one-on-one with individuals. We can meet online via Zoom, WhatsApp, FaceTime, any online platform that works between you and me. If you're local in Cape Town and can make your way to Muizenberg, you can also do the series with me in person. This series is available to anyone and everyone who is looking to grow in their relationship with God. I can't think of anything more valuable that I can be doing with my time. And I'm also not putting a financial limit on this as a series. I invite people to support me via PayPal in terms of the value that you feel that you're getting out of the work that I'm doing, or to contribute to supporting so that someone else can do the series if they don't have the means to contribute.